Hello YouTube, welcome to Motorcycling with Carl. Today I'm doing the clutch install video on my project bike, Yamaha Seca 2600 XJ600S. Here I'm taking the clutch cable off, got to loosen a couple of lock nuts there. So once you loosen the two lock nuts, you can swing the cable over and take it out of the clip. So, there we go. Out of the clip. Boom. Alright, so now you got to take the clutch cover off. What I did was go around and just break them loose. Don't take them all out, just go around, break them loose. Just so you know, there are a bunch of different size bolts in the clutch cover, so you want to keep track of what bolt came out of what hole and put it right back in the same spot. So here I am loosening them all up. So as I take them out, I am laying them out on the floor in the pattern that they came out, so that when I go to put them back in, I put them right back in the same spot that I took them out of. Got my trusty service manual book there. If you guys have a motorcycle and you're going to work on it and you want to do your own work, that's the best investment right there, is buy the service manual for your bike. Basically, will give you step-by-step instructions to do almost any job on the bike. It's a tool you should have. Alright, so if you guys are enjoying my channel, you enjoy my videos, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell notification so you know when I do more videos on the project bike. So here we are, getting the bolts out of the cover. And I'm going to tell you this ahead of time here. I took all the bolts out. Getting the cover off it wasn't easy. I mean, it's like glued together with the gasket in there. It was not easy to come off. There is actually a flange in a couple spots on it that I was able to go around the backside here with a screwdriver and lightly tap it from the other side with a hammer to get it to break loose. Even once it was broken loose, seemed a little tough to come off, but that's because Carl forgot to take one of the bolts fully out. Missed it. So I will take that bolt out here. Okay, and then I will count the holes from where that bracket was, so I make sure I put it in the right part of the layout for when it goes back in. So it still took a little work to get that cover off. And just so you know, before I did this job, I drained you have to drain all the oil out of the crankcase, and I actually took the oil filter off and put a new oil filter on. So right now it is empty. There is no oil in it because the clutch on this bike is a wet wet clutch. It sits in the actual motor oil. So here I am giving it a couple of pulls to get it to break loose. And I think it finally decides to come off. I think I had to turn the clutch handle a little bit there, get it to release, and it's off. So what probably took the longest on this whole job was cleaning the old gasket off of both sides. The clutch cover now is done. I've cleaned that one up. I still have to clean the crankcase side. Let me tell you, it was over an hour's worth of just cleaning the gasket off, the old gasket. So as far as this job goes, that was the hardest part, was cleaning the gasket up. So here it is now. I got the gasket all removed and cleaned up from the housings. I'm starting to take the clutch apart here. So on the clutch cover there's a little dot, and underneath it there's a dot that you have to line it up with. So when you take it off, you'll see the dot on the cover, and underneath there's a dot. So when you put it back on, you have to line that up. I was looking at it to try to find the reason for that. I really didn't come up with the exact reason why that has to be in that position, but it says it in the book and the dots are there, so make sure you line the dots up. Right, so here I'm going to pull the cover off. You got to be careful. I didn't realize that the pin and the roller bearing and the washer will just drop right out of that piece. So when I turned it over, they dropped right out. You want to make sure if it does fall out, you put it back in the exact order that it's supposed to be in when you put it back on. So looking at the clutch plates and the friction plates and everything here, they're a little worn. They weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be, but they were worn. They were slipping. So here I'm gonna remove all the old ones. I am trying to keep them in order just in case I need to reference something. As I take them off, I'll keep them in order here. Just looking at the old one, and I think I'm picking up a new one, gonna compare it. So there was definitely a little bit of difference. And I guess if you add that up times 8 or however many of those there are, every little bit makes a difference. So here we are pulling them all out. So there they all are out of the bike. Getting ready to put in the new ones. So here goes the new ones. Make sure you get the right order. So I'm stacking them all in there. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. Stack them in, stack them in. So I have ridden the bike since I did the clutch, and I have to tell you, it does make a pretty big difference. The clutch is no longer slipping. So here we are, stacking them up. While I had this apart, I also checked these bikes. I guess are famous for, there's a pin behind the clutch boss there that kind of wears out, and the clutch gets shaky back and forth. This bike supposedly only has 4,000 miles on it, and that clutch boss was pretty solid. It did not have much rock or shake to it. So I'm just going to leave it as it is and just replace the plates here. Alright, so we're going to put the clutch cover plate back on there. I think that's, I'm not sure what it's called, because the clutch covers the actual housing. We'll just call that the clutch plate. I'm going to put that back on. Okay, once that, all those bolts are in, they are going to be torqued. I think the spec on those is 71 inch-pounds. Always make sure you go across from each other on the bolts. Do a crisscross pattern, kind of. Don't ever tighten one bolt next to the other one. Always go across from each other. And here I'm not even torquing them yet. I'm just snugging them down, just bringing them in, getting them close. A little at a time on each bolt so everything's nice and even. The pressure, here we go, torquing. Boom, across. Boom, back across. Boom, cross. Boom, cross, boom. Beautiful. Alright, I don't know what happened, but I did lose the footage of me putting the clutch housing cover back on. Just make sure you haven't lost, there's 2 dowels that go in there. Make sure they're in there. Put the gasket on. Put a little RTV sealant where the crankcase, where the split is in the crankcase. You're just supposed to put a dab of RTV sealant on both sides. That'll help if there's any gaps there when you tighten it. You want to tighten those bolts to 88 inch-pounds. Remember, a crisscross pattern. After that's all tightened up, don't forget to fill your crankcase with oil or you'll be very unhappy. Also, don't forget you could adjust the clutch. You could take the lever off there. There's a C-ring and a keyway. You can turn it and line it up to where you want it. So that's going to conclude this video of replacing the clutch plates and the friction plates. So if you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And this is Carl saying laugh a lot, be nice, and stay safe.